The following is an EHC media production.
You can't just say, hey, I'm a wrestler. There has to be a lot of work involved and a lot of training.
This is really what I should be doing.
He is known as Big Thing.
Big Thing? It should be Big Fat Thing!
I don't know how this loser got a shot with me. I'm the champ.
It's all over for you.
I'm gonna make you sorry you ever stepped in the ring.
Join two regular guys as they try to break into big-time professional wrestling. Rent or buy this hilarious comedy at FloridaBushLeagueWrestling.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is Moses Marquez, your host of the Major League Show, the podcast for diehards. I'll be coming at you each and every week with a new episode of the Major League Show, where we dive into all things New Japan Pro Wrestling, from matches to big news to anything in between. So if you're a diehard or you're just a fan, come visit me each week, where I will bring you all the latest and greatest from New Japan. Hope to see you next week.
Well, hello and good morning, guys. This is your host for whenxt, Brian Green, giving you your weekly who, what, when, where, why, how, what's going on, how cold is it, how hot is it, what should I wear today? Will I have to worry about anyone running out the store with the TV, or will I get to sit and listen to 90s hip hop and have a relaxing day? We'll see as the day goes on. Here to bring you what's going on with the first episode of NXT for the year. It was a pretty good episode. Very short and sweet. NXT always does a very nice job getting in and out. They never bore. There's never a dull moment. So I'm not going to keep a dull moment here on this podcast either. Just wanted to say thank you for checking out the show, checking out the page, everything going on. I hope you enjoyed that little shenanigan skit I had last week, with Vince McMahon calling and, saying that the page was undergoing a lot of copyright situations. And when the video goes to get uploaded on the YouTube, there's an actual copyright that's hit onto the video itself. So apologies to Emir for having to deal with that. But hopefully you won't have that issue this week. I thought that was pretty ironic. So, getting into this week's episode, thanks for checking me out, and thankful for NXT for once again giving me something to enjoy. So let's just jump right into it. We started out with the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. They were the first thing we saw in the first episode of NXT in 2018, saying, welcome to 2018. We're the team here at NXT. Adam Cole touted how he was going to stop at nothing to be NXT champion. And Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly bragged about how they were great tag team champions and how they were going to retain over Sanity tonight. And they'll put him down for good. And then the actual theme hit. The show opened. We get to ringside, and they're not in Full Sail University. I believe they were somewhere in Atlanta, if I heard Morrow correctly, later on in the night. But the show opens, crowd's hot, NXT chant, and then I just hear a horse noise. I'm like, well, there's a horse in the arena, but it's Shayna Baszler coming out. And it's Shayna Baszler coming out for a match with Dakota Kai, both who were first seen in the Mae Young Classic. Dakota Kai, a very petite, has to be at least 100 pounds, soaking wet with a brick in her pocket. Very reminiscent of Bayley to me, has Bayley's face, could be Bayley's sister. Definitely the underdog here in this match. Before they got to the match, they showed Shayna observing some students in the NXT Performance Center practicing some submissions, and she had her cell phone, and she's like, I'm going to show them how to really put some submissions on. So she goes to the ring, hey, can I show her what it really feels like? Let me put the hold on. So she puts a rear naked choke onto one of the students and kind of puts the hold on for too long. Hey, she's tapping out, let her go. Hey, that's enough, Shayna. And, they showed her being a bully. And this match, she certainly was a bully. The match was stopped due to Shayna Baszler kicking Dakota Kai's elbow. It looked like she broke it. And I don't know if Dakota Kai is double jointed or what, but she really sold this thing very well. There was a stomp to Dakota Kai's left elbow. And this thing in slow motion looked very, very disturbing. After the referees came out to check on Dakota Kai, and it was a very short match. It was about 2 minutes of her just working the left arm, and, she stomped on it and it was over. The referees tried to get Shayna Baszler off because she jumped back onto Dakota Kai with another rear naked choke, just kind of going overboard with it. And then here comes Ember Moon finally to back off Shayna off of Dakota Kai, and there was kind of a stare down and exchange of words between Ember Moon and Shayna Baszler. So that seems to be the program for the NXT Women's Championship, and I don't have a problem with that. The Authors of Pain come out with a vignette backstage with Paul Ellering, and Akam and Rosari kind of cut their promo in Spanglish. Well, it's not Spanish, but I don't know what language they're speaking. But they kind of go in and out of English, and they sound great. And Paul Ellering comes up and he says it doesn't matter if it's Sanity or the Undisputed Era, but they're going to get their championships back for sure. William Regal then warns Shayna Baszler, who is being interviewed, by Chrissy St. Cloud. Regal says that attacks from behind will get her nowhere near an NXT Women's Championship match in NXT, so she needs to stop. And Shayna just kind of says, "We done here? Is that all you're going to tell me?" Kind of walks off, doesn't really care to hear what Regal has to say. Up next, we have Cassius Ohno against Raul Mendoza, and I've said this before, but Raul Mendoza has a dope-ass theme song, and it's better than about 80% of the roster's theme song. These two have a very great athletic match. Cassius Ohno goes to roll Raul Mendoza off the top rope as Raul goes to fly off, and then Raul counters that into a head scissors. That's very smooth maneuvering between these two. Cassius caught a kick from Raul, flipped him backwards, then Ohno hit one of his, impactful thrust kicks. And it's fun to see him work with someone who will make his moves look even more devastating. Ohno is a bigger guy who does, flashy, high-flying, technical maneuvers, but to see him work with someone smaller to where his maneuvers can be sold, a little extra, it's great. And Raul Mendoza was the competitor to have that match against. We've seen him before in the Cruiserweight Classic, we've seen him here in NXT, and we know he's going to have a great match, and that's what these two had. Cassius Ohno eventually gets Mendoza into a gory bomb submission, wears him like a backpack upside down, and this is where the size difference made this move look so much more devastating. This was countered via a victory roll by Raul Mendoza. Very sick exchange of moves there. Raul jumped off the ropes. He did a corkscrew arm drag into a springboard kick. Another impressive series of moves here. Ohno then caught Raul with an electric chair and dropped him onto the ropes. And then he hit a thrust kick, which took him down. And Cassius Ohno's new finish is a flying forearm to the back of the neck as he jumps off the rope. And this is what he hit onto Raul to get a 3 count. So that was a good match. These two knew what to throw together here. I feel like these two meshed well, and if they had some more time to actually tell the story in the match, they would have had a great showing. And not to say that this was bad, but a more lengthy match could have improved this showing here is all I'm saying. Zelina Vega has a interview 7 backstage, and she looks hot. She says that Gargano hasn't earned anything, but he's gotten lucky. He's not a fighter, but he's an opportunist. Andrade beat Johnny twice, and, his partner, Tommaso Ciampa, clearly was the talent in that tag team. There is no reason to reveal any sort of strategy on how they're going to beat Johnny Gargano in Philadelphia because it's just going to be that easy. And then we cut to an interview with Johnny Gargano being interviewed by Chrissy St. Cloud, and this chick gets interrupted by Velveteen Dream. And man, she cannot cut a full interview tonight. She cannot cut a full interview. This is her second chance at an interview, and she gets, cut off again. But it's good to see Velveteen Dream come back, absolutely. He says that Johnny Gargano got lucky in taking his spot in defeating Cassius Ohno. Although it took him 20 minutes to defeat Cassius Ohno, Velveteen Dream did it in about 30 seconds. He also says that he didn't deserve to pin Aleister Black, that was a fluke. And if Aleister Black was not, beaten by Johnny Gargano, if Velveteen Dream instead was in the match, he would have beat Aleister Black. He would have beat everyone in that match a lot more easily than Gargano did. You know, Velveteen Dream is saying that he knows, that Gargano knows, that everyone knows that he deserves that NXT Championship match instead. So that kind of ends that interview segment. I don't know if they're going to have an opportunity for Velveteen Dream to get that number one contendership from Johnny Gargano on the way there. We have about 2 weeks to see a match between Gargano and Velveteen Dream. That I wouldn't complain. That would be a great showing there. The Street Profits continue to fuck with people backstage, and they eventually make their way into William Regal's office. And the way these guys hold the camera and their microphones, and they're kind of looking at the camera and holding it, I can kind of get behind their style of promo, and it's working. It worked here. When it's rehearsed and it has a purpose, it does seem to work and come off as entertaining. And they asked for an opportunity at the NXT Tag Team Championships, and William Regal grants them that in the form of a match with the Authors of Pain next week for the number one contendership. So good luck, fellas. William Regal hits the Millie Rock, which is pretty cool. He has some English swag there, I guess. So that was pretty fun. Lio Rush against Lars Sullivan next, and it's nice to see Lio Rush come back, but I wonder if this is his punishment here to get smashed by Lars Sullivan. It's good to see him back on TV. They brag about how world traveled he is. He's wrestled in 43 states, Mexico, the UK, blah, blah, blah. And Lars the Murderer is on his way to the ring, and I love the way the production shoots him as he enters with the lighting treatment. They catch his silhouette as he, just encompasses one of the stage lights when he stands in the ring. And early on in this match, Lio Rush makes a spectacle out of avoiding Lars. Lars would run off him, run off the ropes at Lio Rush, and Lio would, tuck and roll and dodge, to the point where Lars Sullivan would find himself out on the apron. Lio Rush would kind of hit a somersault kick, kind of how Tajiri would flip off the ropes. Lio Rush kind of flipped off and had his feet above his head, kicked Lars off the ring like that. That was a pretty cool spot, avoiding everything that Lars was trying to throw at him. So, again, Lio Rush making a spectacle out of, not even hitting offensive maneuvers here. Lars eventually gets his hands on Lio Rush and tosses him like a bag of groceries into the turnbuckle once he's finally caught. And Lars tries to tackle Lio again, but he's torpedoed into the corner once Lio dodges one of these, shoulder tackles. And Lio Rush had brief moments of brilliance in this match, but he was easily caught into the freak accident. He grabs his opponents at the waist, Lars does, and lifts him up into the Uranagi Slam. He gets the easy victory here against Lio Rush. And Lars calls out Killian Dane and says that he enjoyed meeting a large force that he has not encountered before, but his enjoyment is going to come in destroying that force. And man, I cannot wait to see Killian Dane against Lars Sullivan. That's going to be a collision. And then Lars is not done with Lio Rush here. He takes him to the top rope, grabs him at the waist, and I love the way they call it this move, the super freak accident, the top rope Uranagi Slam. And Lio Rush sold as well, looked completely stunned once, the impact, hit the apron there in the middle of the ring. So, very cool segment here, and I cannot wait to see King Kong against Godzilla. After this segment, there's a fast cut to the backstage area where the Undisputed Era is attacking Eric Young and Alexander Wolf, right before their tag team title match. So, we cut back to ringside, and Mauro, Percy, and Nigel are kind of like, well, what the hell is going to happen to the championship match now? We're supposed to have a tag team championship match. What are we going to do? And the Undisputed Era comes to the ring to brag about what they've done. They're saying, did Sanity forget that they had a title match tonight? What's going on? And Adam Cole's like, no, they didn't forget. We laid their asses out backstage. So that kind of made the title match null and void. And William Regal comes out, and he looks mad and scary as fuck. And it's awesome that William Regal, in his age, even though he's not a competitor, he can still look very, very intimidating. He comes out, and Roderick Strong joins him on the stage to say that he'll fight these guys and he'll find a partner. It does not take long for Aleister Black to step on the stage and says, that, as will I, in response to Roderick Strong saying that he'll fight those guys. And it's good to see Aleister Black come out and continue his feud with the Undisputed Era due to them costing him an opportunity at the NXT Championship. So for the first time ever, Roderick Strong and Aleister Black team up here for an opportunity at the NXT Tag Team Championships. Aleister Black and Kyle O'Reilly trade their martial art skills against each other, leg sweeps, throwing kicks, and, some quick submission maneuver attempts at each other. They have some great moments of brilliance, these two. I'd like to see a lengthy match between Kyle O'Reilly and Aleister Black. Very similar style would make for a captivating match, I believe. Kyle O'Reilly goes outside the ring to kind of lick his wounds and make strategy with Bobby Fish, and here comes Roderick Strong with the Wrecking Ball drop kick to kind of break up that little huddle there. Here comes a tag to Roddy, who begins his backbreaker count off, hitting the first backbreaker onto Kyle O'Reilly here. Back in eventually comes Aleister Black, and Bobby Fish sweeps the legs up from under him as he's on the apron, finally giving them, an advantage. Aleister Black is dominated as they come back from commercial break, and Roderick Strong eventually gets an awesome hot tag in. This backbreaker streak thing that he has going in this match really helps build some momentum from him. Just to see him hit these backbreakers and, get that sprint of momentum as he hits a single leg flapjack onto Kyle O'Reilly, and then Bobby Fish is taken out of the ring, and outside the ring, Aleister Black hits a big boot, and then, inside the ring, Roderick Strong continues to hit his flurry of offense against Kyle O'Reilly. But out of nowhere, here comes Adam Cole to kind of distract Aleister Black outside the ring. Adam Cole runs into the crowd, and Aleister Black, follows him. And then this kind of leaves Roderick Strong to be isolated by himself, with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, these super skilled tag team veterans, eventually get the upper hand and hit a total elimination, which is a leg sweep, and like a flying elbow or a forearm, kind of taking him out high and low to get the pinfall on Roderick Strong. They retain their tag team championships here. So, they kind of use their number game here to get the upper hand, and then here comes Aleister Black back into the ring, turning his back on Adam Cole. He gets back into the ring to fight Bobby Fish, to fight Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole attacks him from behind, and three of them just pummel Aleister Black. Bobby and Kyle hold them. They hold Aleister, and Adam Cole just continuously kicks him in the face. They pick up Aleister Black, hit a total elimination, and then Kyle goes out to grab a chair. They set it up, not to give their leader a seat, but they give their leader, Adam Cole, and the Undisputed Era, and laying out everyone, looking dominant. This is what they need to look like a dominant group. Let's keep them looking great. Let's keep them doing dastardly things. This was awesome. The Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, her new squad over on SmackDown, they look so weak because every week they are failing to accomplish a goal. They lose every week. They fail to attack people. They fail to get the upper hand. This group here, they are succeeding. They have championship gold. They look awesome. They're killers. They got the numbers game. That's fantastic. So they go up the ramp to end the show. William Regal is not done. He's had a busy night here. And he makes a match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole for the TakeOver Philadelphia show. And it's going to be an Extreme Rules match. So that's awesome news there. That should be an awesome match. Finally a lengthy match for Adam Cole. A singles match here against Aleister Black should be fantastic. I don't see an issue with that. I'm happy with that. So looking forward to TakeOver Philadelphia. We have this match here, an Extreme Rules match, we have the NXT Championship match between Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano. If Velveteen Dream is not added or, takes Johnny's spot somehow, we'll see what goes on with that. And as far as the Women's Championship, maybe Ember Moon defends against Shayna Baszler. That wouldn't be a bad match to get Shayna introduced to the NXT roster there. So I just wanted to come on, and I just watched the show here. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I'm going to try to get some pancakes in my system before I head off to work. I just wanted to kind of do a express review of NXT, and it was a great episode, and I feel like if they continue to have some storylines like this to kind of get in and out, not bore the crowd, have a great match, some great segments, and keep things progressing, and NXT should be great. So, great show here. Let me know what you think about it. I'll see you guys next week. Gonna keep it short and sweet here for whenxt episode number 11. See you guys around. We'll talk wrestling as we march towards the Royal Rumble. Have a great day. Take care.